ruining my leprechaun jokes now. As usual, guys, free books over there. If you're a writer and you want me to make a book for you, I'll do that. It's free. And also, they are given away for free. I'm going to read a couple of greatest hits tonight. Most of you have probably heard them, but I'm trying to impress a girl. I waited until she was holding the camera so she couldn't throw shit at me. This one is Save Us From Ourselves. It was inspired by Vicky Aqua. Some of you know her as Mama Oladeji. God save the Queen, long live the King. Hail to the Chief, the Lord of all lies. I dredge the swamp for the bombs bursting in air. Oh, say can you see that justice is blind, that we are all colorblind, when all you can see is the white hot dawn's early light. That might means right. Always fight with the sun at your back and the darkness in your soul. But don't be black, that's worth the bullets whizzing past. A soldier's job is never done, never won. A draft dodger's never run, never won with the multiplicity of our multi-ethnicity of a nation of fools that elects a derelict jester who taunts our puppet strings, strikes the chords of the lamentations of our hearts, heartless bastards. We are no longer whole, just a sinking hole, a pit of despair that stares back at us. Look up, look down, stay down, lock down, look out. Here it comes. As above, so below, the devil's in the details that are reduced to black and whites. We are weapons of mass confusion, taking aim, hiding behind his wall to build a nation of prisoners, too afraid to yell out our battle calls, to seek retribution for our disillusion, to clear up the noise pollution, to fall on our knees, to take a knee, because we need. We are a world of truth benders, rule breakers, criminal instigators, unforeseen fornicators, ego masturbators, serial verbal defecators. We are nothing, no one, nowhere, just present at this moment in history, when we realized we fucked up. Hindsight was blindsided, blinded by the light, speckled with red, white, and bruises, masks of shame, that we were complicit in our own downfall. The fall of man, the blood is on our hands, because we did not stop when we knew we could, because we thought no meant yes, and that she didn't really mean it. And boys will be boys with their unruly lethal toys that cuts through what was right and left us divided. The only lyrical thing I'll get. Alright, this one's a lot happier, hopefully. It's one of my favorites. It's a little longer. It's called The Moment. The Japanese girl sits quietly on the pier, gazing out over the water. Her silence and knowing glance says more than either of our languages could ever comprehend. She is beautiful in her hopelessness, and I, dumbstruck in awe of a peace I will never know. She sits behind me squawking with an adolescent banter that must seem dire. Her intensity of voice speaks the same thing I have secretly wished for years, but been too afraid to say. Please, pay attention to me. Speak I did for the very first time. This awkward message of youthful adoration is not exactly communicated articulately. Her only response is, God, I hate you, please shut up. If I'm already taking risks with my life, then I will not be silenced. For once, I will not back down. You love me, you just don't know it yet. We are inexplicably set on the very edge of the river, the smell of Texas barbecue intensifying our hunger. Half our small group exhausted, proving their technical prowess. When I declare that this most manly of feasts must be a competition to prove our testosterone. Why simply dine in San Antonio when you can challenge your friends to a banquet of sauce-laden meats? I declare that he who finishes least or last must surrender his manhood. The balls are on the table tonight. I awoke early this morning and slipped quietly out of my bunk. My compatriots were still sleeping off a hangover. I pushed open the door, hundreds of years my senior, and witnessed the burgundy sunset of French wine country. Just think, right now, I could be mindlessly staring at rolling machinery. I place another valve on the pump and whirr, hypnotically tighten it down. The sound has become a meditation now. The zen is broken when my radio squeals. The producer has just jumped on the air. The World Trade Center is on fire. I place my wrench down, slowly on the table, confused. We all do. We all are. In a half hour, we will all be sitting around the table, listening to Howard Stern speculate on a horror. We are blinded to the true terror, what this really means, until hours later. Snow continues to flood my windshield as I wind precariously around the bespectacled Alleghenies. The city below, shrouded in the early winter night, looks as though the heavens have finally released the weight of the stars to the ground. As I marvel at this, a twinge of fear arises. I may not find shelter tonight. Nonetheless, the roads level out and an exit is offered as salvation. In the midst of planned itineraries, sightseeing, and tourist attractions, I had lost track of time. I am resigned to sleep the night in a Walmart parking lot. When I pull off the exit, however, I am pleased to see the welcoming glow of a mall. There, I discover an establishment long since lost to the ether of my youth. As I sit there, eating the 10,000-calorie hot dog, I ponder, this is what life was like when it was simpler, when I thought I knew what it was all about, before I was proven horribly wrong. In the midst of the audacious and elaborate splendor of Florence, I see a sight so simple, and yet so much more a monument to man's unfathomable capacity for love and compassion. A rose, brown and dead, is stuck in a chain-link fence. Attached to it is a small, handwritten note that reads, "Kiss her now." I am in her arms, having been told no, and resigned to rejection so many times. So many times I told myself that this would never happen. As my lips touch hers, I laugh inside my head. Is this really happening? This is really happening. I hold my breath. I can see him through the window, as I have seen him through the electronic window of my TV for years. As I get closer, this feels less and less real. This is my hero, my God. He has accomplished amazing things and pushed the limits of the human body. Suddenly, I am in front of him. He looks up and smiles as he says hello. All the nervousness, the anxiety disappears when I realize that my God is a man like me. I am terrified. Before me is a discolored, screaming, clawing, misshapen alien creature. My son takes his first breaths of real air. We are all exhausted. His mother looks at me with a look that practically screams, "We did it." I plead, "But we're not done doing it yet, are we?" His gurgles turn into cries, and I know that this is the moment that matters more than any in my life. I will never have a single moment matter any more than this. And while I stare into his bed, I hope he proves me wrong. Thank you.